All right, guys, we've got our form created, sort of. It's ugly, but I don't care. Now we're going to talk about how to use conditional logic in your forms, because this has literally put forms on steroids for us in a lot of different ways. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually add a couple more fields into this so that I can show you a couple of different things. So let's add contract value just as an example. Let's add our multi-line text box, which is not that big of a deal, and let's add our radio box here for ABC. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to do the conditional logic button right here. Now within conditional logic, we have logic that will allow us to redirect to a specific URL based on specific answers on the form. We can display a custom message based on specific answers on a form. We can disqualify a lead, again, based on specific answers on a form, and we can hide or show fields on the form as well. So let's go to the redirect URL. So we can create conditional logic here. If, let's say, radio button ABC is equal to A, then we can go to https google.com. Okay, so if radio ABC is equal to A, then go to this domain. We can also add and or statements here. So we could say if radio ABC is equal to A and contract value is less than 200, then go to google.com. So you start to get the idea. This is where like we completely nerd out and geek out on a lot of these different things. So there's a lot of different cool things and conditions that you can do with a redirect at the end of a form or a survey. So let's go into display a custom message. So again, we can do the if statement. If radio ABC is equal to B, then on submit display this custom message. If it's equal to C, then on submit display this custom message. And that's going to be, based on obviously your settings, which I talked about at the end of the last video, to display a custom message. You can add your and or statements to this as well for all of these different custom message functions as well. You can disqualify a lead based on certain settings and conditions. So you can say if the contract value is less than 200, you can disqualify and display a message, or you can open a URL so you can redirect them to a different page, different offer, different whatever you want, right? And again, with the and or the or statements, you can do that as well. So that's really, really handy. Now, another thing that we use is the hide and show fields functions, which is really, really awesome. So let's give you some examples here. So we're going to say that if email is empty, then hide. We're going to actually hide multiple, and we're going to select all the fields that we want to hide. So we're going to hide the state, the city, the multi-line, the radio, service type, contract value, and checkbox value. So we're going to literally hide everything. If you don't give us your email address, we're going to hide it all. And in fact, we can go even further where we can say if the email is empty, we're going to hide phone number. So we're going to ask for their name and their email, and then we're going to hide everything else. So let's go and hit save on this. And I'm going to show you guys what this actually looks like in my ugly looking form. So we're going to hit the preview button. What's going on? There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my name here, Adam McInnes, and I'm going to go adam@rmmarketing.ca. But you notice the second I started typing in there, all of these other fields showed up, right? And so you can use conditional logic for these as well, where you can have them displaying one at a time. Every single time the next one gets filled in or the next one gets selected, display the next one, display the next one, display the next one. You could have it as conditional logic where if radio ABC is A, well, let's show these two fields, but not this one. So let's actually go and do that. So we're going to go back into the settings. We're going to go to our conditional logic, and let's just delete this one for a second. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide. We're going to say if radio ABC is empty, then hide multiple, and we're going to hide the service type, the contract value, and checkbox ABC. Okay, so we're going to hide all of those fields if this field is empty. Now we're going to save that. Now we're going to add another condition, and we're going to say if radio select ABC is equal to A, then we're going to show multiple, and this time we're going to show radio, that's the wrong one, service type and contract value. And we're going to hit save. Now let's go here. We're going to save our survey and we're going to hit preview. Okay, so you can see that we've only got a handful of these questions in here, but if I select A, then it shows the next selections that I told it to show when I selected A. But if I select B, then they're not going to show. So that's kind of how the conditional logic works, which you can have an absolute ton of fun with this stuff and make it do a lot of wild things, which from our point of view, you know, back in the day, which probably doesn't matter to you, surveys were the only way that you could do things like this. But now they've got conditional logic in forms. And now what we can do is we can say, hey, as soon as radio ABC is filled out, hide it and show the next set of fields. And effectively what you have at that point is a survey that you can do a lot of unique things with. And then based on specific answers, you can redirect them to certain pages. So this can get really, really complex, but it's also, you know, really powerful what you can do with the form conditional logic. So again, I'm going to encourage you to go and create these forms and surveys, create them, break them, fix them, and then try it again. From what I understand with these, and I haven't tested absolutely all of it, but if you use radio buttons or single select options, those are your conditional logic fields that you have available, as well as like all of your standard fields. You can use conditional logic on those as well. So go ahead, play with it, break it, fix it, play with it again, break it again, and just kind of rinse and repeat the cycle, because there is an awful lot of things that there's no way that I could describe it to you all in one video and tell you everything that you could possibly do with this. Your use cases are going to be unique. Your client use cases are going to be unique. So the only way for you to really master this is to find some time, go and make something, break it, fix it, and break it again, and fix it again. That's how we've mastered the platform. So that's how we recommend you do it as well. So there you go, guys. Conditional logic in forms is an absolute game changer on the Highlevel platform. All right, guys, next up on this long list of tutorials on how to build inside of Highlevel, we're going to be building a survey and show you guys how to do it. Now, we just went through forms, so I'm not going to go through all the details of how to build the form or the survey because we just covered that, and you will learn the same thing in surveys. So we're going to go into sites and we're going to go into surveys, and we are going to add a survey, which I've already added here, survey 0. We're going to give this one a name, GHL Masterclass Survey Demo. That is our survey name. It's very, very important that you name these surveys because you're going to be using them later on in workflows and automation. So I'm going to go ahead and save that so we have that name saved. Now, you'll notice over here, there's no conditional logic option like there is in forms, but you do have the ability to add all of your standard and your custom fields. So let's go and add the full name right here. And you can add the phone number, which, by the way, you guessed it, is going to add your consent form right here. And now you've got your privacy policy and your terms of service in there as well, which, if you recall from the A2P video, you are going to have to put your privacy policy and your terms of services in these links here because they're going to be empty by default. So just be aware of that. Now, so far, the building of a form is exactly the same as building of a survey, but where do these things differ? The way that these things differ is that if I've got a lot of questions that I've got to ask somebody, I can add multiple pages of the form or survey. So I can just hit this little plus button right here, and I can now add a second slide. So the first slide is going to ask for their full name, their phone number, which for survey, I wouldn't do that. I would leave these typically to the end, but that's okay. You can also move these slides around, and I can switch the positions of these slides, which is really, really great. You can actually come in here and you can change the name of the slides from slide 1 to slide 2. Because I switched positions, I'm going to change the names. This is now slide 1, and the other one is slide 2. You can change the logic of each slide as well, where, hey, this slide when submitted jumps to this slide here, which I'll show you guys in a little bit here. What I want to do is I want to get into the custom fields, because I'm going to go and grab a single select radio button, ABC button here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also add another slide here that's going to have the favorite number field in here. So I can now come into this field and I can create conditional logic of the survey from these radio button fields. So I can say that if they choose A, I'm going to go to slide 3 if they select A. So if they select A, go to slide 3. But if they select B, go to slide 2. And if they select C, we're going to disqualify them immediately, which means they don't even get the opportunity to submit this survey. It's just going to shut them down. They can't do anything. So we're going to save that right there. And you can kind of start to get the picture here where you can have one question at a time. You can have multiple questions at a time. You can group questions based on the question type that you want to have people fill out. Now, it's very, very important to note that unless you have an email or a phone number being submitted, this will not create a contact record or update a contact record. You need to have either the phone or the email at some point in the survey here. So what I usually recommend, just to make sure that you're getting contact information, is to put the full name and the email somewhere near the top, because you're going to get the name and the phone number or the email somewhere at the top, so that you collect their information regardless of whether they complete the survey or not. You can still grab that information from them. But surveys, just like forms, are a way to collect information using custom field values in a different format, where it's going to go from one slide to the next, to the next, to the next. And then you can add your conditional logic functions using radio buttons and single select drop down buttons to go to different slides within your survey before the submit takes place. So just like in forms, you've got your options here. Sorry, I'm not in the form itself. I'm in the field itself. You've got your layouts, so you can change all of your colors. You can choose your box style from line to box, just like in forms and surveys. You can change your width. You can adjust your padding. You can change your background colors. You can do all of the same things that you can do in forms. And again, I'm not a designer, so I'm not going to show you how to do it, because I'm just going to make it look ugly. That's just the hard truth here. You've got your miscellaneous, which is turning on your agency branding, like so. And then you've got your advanced settings, where you can now get really, really granular with the text boxes, the fields, the colors, the labels, the whole 9 yards. So let's go back out of here, and then we can do our options here. Now, create contact on partial submission. So how does this work? Basically, you turn it on. If they don't fully submit the survey, we're still going to create a contact, which is why I recommended at the kind of middle of this video, you're going to want at least a name and or a phone number and email on here as well. Otherwise, you're going to have a messy blank contact, which doesn't look very good. So you can create a contact on partial submission. It just won't have any contact information if you're not asking for contact information up front. So just be aware of that. You've got your on submit option. So when they submit the survey, you can do the open URL or display a message here as well. And then you've got your disqualify immediately, which you can, again, so on C here, we picked disqualify immediately. So we could say that if they selected C, we're going to disqualify them immediately, or we're going to send them to this URL. Maybe you're asking them different information, or it's a different offer. Disqualify after submit. So this is what I selected for B. If I select B, I'm going to go to this slide, and then I'm going to fill it out, and then I'm going to get disqualified. Do you want me to go to a different page after that? So this is really a way that you can qualify, disqualify, add a lot more value to your own company and to your client's company by making sure that they're getting the right types of contacts, the right types of leads that are going to be entering into workflows. Again, you've got your pixel ID here and the pixel events that you want to have fire when they submit this survey. And then you've got your overall survey questions. Do you want to ask them one question at a time? Yep, typically. Sticky contact, same thing as the form. If you are filling the surveys out for people, do not turn sticky contact on. If they are filling out them surveys for themselves, then that is you can turn to sticky contact on at that time. Disabling auto navigation. So if you turn this on, the survey will not automatically go to the next slide, meaning when you select a radio button, by default, if this is turned off like this, if I select A, it's going to automatically go to the slide that I tell it to go to. If I have auto navigation turned on, or disable auto navigation turned on, I have to select A, and then I also have to select the next button. So that's what the auto navigation does. Scroll to the top. If the survey is on, the survey will scroll to the top on the next slide. So again, if you've got a really long slide, that's what it's going to do. And then your GDR compliant font is there as well. And again, I always recommend that you enable your time zone. And this is where you can add custom CSS and coding to stylize your survey if you are that type of person, which I clearly am not. So there you go, guys. That is surveys. It's very, very similar to how you build and develop forms, but instead of it being on a single page, it's going to be on multiple slides. And the conditional logic, instead of being built in at the top end of the form, is built into the radio button and single select options of a survey itself. So there you go, guys. That is surveys. I hope it was helpful. And as always, build it, break it, rebuild it again. That's how you're going to master this platform. Hey guys, I hope you found that video useful and helpful for you getting your company set up in Highlevel and getting your white label started with the Highlevel ecosystem. Now, if you're just starting out your journey in the Highlevel ecosystem, or maybe you're even an intermediate, or consider yourself an expert that just wants to know a little bit more about the Highlevel platform and how you can leverage it, I would encourage you to go and click the link in the description below this video and hop into our GHL Mastery program. What do we do inside of our GHL Mastery program? Well, we have 5 calls every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, for 2 hours a day, where we actually help you get into your system, help you build, help you troubleshoot, and just overall help elevate your overall skill set on the Highlevel platform. So if you're interested in getting hands-on every single day support, plus a couple of bonus goodies, snapshots, AI systems, the like, then go ahead and click the link below to join our GHL Mastery VIP group. And I promise you, you will learn more in 1 month than you will in 6 months doing this on your own. We will see you in the next one. Take care.